Hello, my dear students! This is the second lesson from the series about phrasal verbs. Today we will speak about phrasal verbs with come. To come is an irregular verb. I will remind you its forms. Please look here. Come, came, come. We use it like this. Normally I come from work at 3 o'clock, but yesterday I came at 4 o'clock. I have just come. I came a few minutes ago. Now let's start with phrasal verbs, and we will start with easier phrasal verbs. Step by step we will move to more difficult and not so obvious examples. First example, please look here, come on. Come on is a really easy phrasal verb which shows some impatience. Come on, come on. It means come quickly with me or to me. In other words, I could just say, let's go, hurry up. Well, next verb, come out. Come out. Imagine that I have a secret. I have lived with my secret for my whole life, but one day the secret will come out because earlier or later all secrets come out in the open. And my English textbook came out as a special edition for my students. And my English videos come out regularly, usually twice a week. Can you remember any big secret that came out and shocked you? Next verb, it is to come apart. Apart actually means into small different pieces. Just imagine if there is an object like TV or a clock, it consists of many little parts. So this object can come apart. My friend has bought a cheap book with beautiful pictures. It was a very good book, but why was it so cheap? We got to know because the very next day it just came apart. And my nephew is 7 years old. He is a very curious young boy. He wanted to know more about my alarm clock. And now my alarm clock is in pieces. He said it just came apart in his hands. Let's move on. Next, come by. Actually there are two phrasal verbs which have the same meaning. They're synonyms. Come by and come round. It means just to visit somebody. Not officially, for a short period of time, especially on your way. My friend sometimes comes by. This year she didn't celebrate her birthday, so I called her and said, just come by any day and I will give you your present. A few days ago, she finally came round and she took her birthday present. And do you have some friends who can just come by? Do people often come round to you? Next verb, come down with. Come down with. Down means towards the earth, down. For example, if I live on the first floor and my neighbor lives on the 5th floor. Yeah? So he comes down to see me. An illness can bring us down because it is so difficult to be ill. It takes all our power and energy away, and we get down into the bed. To come down with an illness, it means to become ill. Luckily, I haven't come down with any cold this year. I wish you good health and I hope that you won't come down with a flu. And very similar, but it is come down to. So 3 words, come down to. As I have already said, down means close to earth. We can say it about something which is real at the moment. Actually, come down to usually means to speak about something that is real, and it means that it is in the center of some question or problem. For example, many of my students say that they don't have an opportunity to practice English. When we come down to it, we are just lazy to do it. When we come down to details, it is quite possible to practice English every day, even if you don't live in an English-speaking country. So, if you come down to it, say honestly, what prevents you from studying English? And I hope that nothing. Let's continue. Next phrasal verb is come across. Come across means to make an impression, especially a good impression. I met a new Chinese girl yesterday. Although I didn't understand a word she was saying, she came across as a nice girl. In other words, she came across to me as a very nice person. We can use this expression with negative words too. For example, I met my neighbor yesterday and he came across as being angry. I also can use this phrasal verb to speak about some ideas or some speech that is easy to understand. For example, your speech came across very well. Does my speech come across? It means, do you understand me? So, tell me please, does it come across? Well, next phrasal verb, come off. There are a few slightly different meanings. First, it means to finish with success. The project came off. It is a success. All came off well. By the way, did the new play in the Russian Drama Theatre come off? There might be a slightly different meaning of coming apart. Once again, come apart, becoming separated. For example, recently I have bought a new coat, and the first day I wore this coat, a button came off. So I had to sew the buttons. Finally, English people like this expression because they say it in meaning stop it. Oh, come of it. They mean stop it, please. If you tell me too many compliments, I could answer you, oh, come of it, I'm not so good, actually. Next phrasal verb, come up with. 3 words, come up with. Well, come up with means to have a good idea. And why is it so? I think because a long time ago people thought that we think with our stomach. It is here, so you can imagine. When we had an idea, it was born here, and then we had to say it with our mouth, so the idea had to come up, right? Come up, you can imagine this. Maybe this is the reason why we say to come up with an idea. Or it is the best explanation I could come up with. Then my students don't do their homework, they always come up with different excuses. Please, don't come up with any excuses this time and write your sentences with the new phrasal verbs. I also hope that you will come up with some new ideas. What topics would you like to hear from me in the future? Please write those in the comments below. I wish you good health. See you soon. Bye!